Section 1, Part B, presented by Samuel L., Samuel C., and Rothy A.
So what does the College Board say? For Section 1, Part B, the weight is 35% of your 40% end of course exam. That means this question makes up 14% of your AP score. The suggested time that College Board recommends for Section 1, Part B is 60 minutes, and 2 sources are provided. U.S. students are asked to evaluate the effectiveness of 2 different arguments that are completely contradictory to one another. And this is to assess your ability to evaluate the effectiveness of the different authors and their different lines of reasoning, and to also compare the 2 texts while understanding the credibility of those 2 sources, as well as what is strong and weak evidence.
At this rubric. This rubric contains a total of 18 points, split between 3 categories. On each category, you can get a 2, 4, or a 6. Actually, you can even get a 0 if you don't write anything or write something completely off topic. As always, you should try not to get the 2s, try to get the 6s, and it's okay to get a 4 if you want to be a mediocre underachiever for the rest of your life.
1. The first possible 6 points you could get if you were actually trying. So we see that in row 1, it's used for analyzing and evaluating evidence. For this, you have to use explicit analysis. That's very good, and you also have to explain the evidence and credibility and relevance that's given to you in the articles. Also, remember to keep your essay consistent. It's important to keep it as cohesive and coherent as possible.
Row 2, analyzing and understanding the argument. What do you want me to say? It's 6 points max again, and you have to use highly evaluative and reasonable analysis while explaining the author's line of reasoning and validity. You have to identify the strengths and weaknesses of the author. It's pretty straightforward.
Analyzing and understanding the argument. Someone thought it was a good idea to put 6 points max on every single description. I don't know why. For this section, remember to discuss both articles equally, to use evidence and analogies outside of the article. This will help show that you have a perspective that is outside of what is just presented to you. Additionally, explain and compare the arguments and their validity, and evaluate the strengths and weaknesses of these arguments. As always, remember to back your claims up with evidence and commentary.
That might actually help you on this AP. The tips to effectively ensure that you have fully answered the question. First, the most important thing to actually be able to answer the question is that you need to read the question carefully. Use some tips such as highlighting, underlining, or circling keywords and information that is important on where to start. You should also read both the articles carefully, again highlighting, underlining, or circling main points of the articles, and annotating the different perspectives. Write notes to the side so you can remember where you found this. You need to make sure you read both articles in its entirety. Also, you should plan before you write out your actual essay. Jot down an outline demonstrating your knowledge and understanding a topic. You should also write down the perspectives that each article talks about and create a comparison to list out the similarities and differences. It's not enough to only create an outline as an answer. And we have to stress this many times, as many students will only put an outline. This will result in an incomplete score, and so you must remember to use the outline only as a guide, not your answer.
Remember to describe the strengths and weaknesses of the essays. Remember to include evidence, preferably with citations, and remember to analyze the evidence. Additionally, try to show your understanding of the different viewpoints presented. And remember, because you have 60 minutes, you can always go back and check for grammar mistakes and other mistakes that you might have made. Additionally, check to make sure you fulfilled every part of a rubric.
1. Follow the link that is listed on the hub and read the following articles. Then determine each author's perspective and main idea. Then score the given responses in this video. Be prepared to discuss why you gave each response that score. responses. Let's see what College Board had to say about them. The first response got a 4 for all categories. It met all the basic requirements, but it wasn't consistent and some of the commentary was flawed. The second response, however, got a score of 6 for all categories. It showed explicit analysis and clearly explained each author's line of reasoning.